Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the Chris O'Donnell Robin from the Batman and Robin movie. Arguably the worst Batman movie ever made, but make for some pretty cool figures. Now this is Chris O'Donnell as Robin in his sort of Nightwing looking suit, and it's from the majority of the film. He has a different suit from the end of the film that looks very similar to this. I got this guy at GameStop, so let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, 22 Moon parts, McFarlane Toys, ages 12 plus, DC Multiverse Robin, collect to build Mr. Freeze. Here he's in the package. We have Mr. Freeze's arms, some blast effects, collector's card, and display stand. One side of the package, Robin from Batman and Robin. Other side simply says Robin. At the bottom, bunch of credits, and there's his barcode, in case that helps anybody. Back side, we have Mr. Freeze. Here are the parts to go with Robin. Here's instructions how to put them together, and here is the rest of the wave. Now I will point out, GameStop put this stupid sticker on the front. If I was keeping this in the box, I'd be pretty pissed off. I'll have to find my one to keep unopened later. For now, let's open this guy up, put him together, and collect to build Mr. Freeze. And as you could probably guess, I got the entire wave at GameStop today. Gonna be able to build Mr. Freeze tonight. Alright, now that this figure out of the package, here he is with all the accessories laid out. He comes with a display stand, a collector's card, 2 ice effects, and then Mr. Freeze's arms. But before I take a look at all that, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is Robin from Batman and Robin, played by Chris O'Donnell. His real name is Dick Grayson, the original Robin, but the suit takes a lot of inspiration from Nightwing. It looks pretty cool, although he definitely is still Robin. So let's take a look. Starting with his face here, I think it looks pretty freaking good. It looks like Chris O'Donnell. Something about the eyes, the mask, the nose, the lips, captures his likeness. Now the top, his hair seems to be receding a little bit more on the right side than the left side. Uneven, kind of bothering me. Hair itself looks pretty good. We have brown mixed with dark brown, mixed with light brown. Pretty nice. As we go further down, the suit has that sculpted armor on it. It has all black, and then it has the red sort of Nightwing logo on it, which is different from the comics, as Nightwing is typically blue and black. You can see the signature nipples on the suit. We've got the Bat logo on his belt here. Double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. You can see the Batman fins. He's got the rubberish cape, a little bit smaller than Batman's. Overall, he looks pretty good. I think they did an excellent job on the likeness. Maybe not quite as good as Poison Ivy and Freeze, but pretty damn good nonetheless. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. Like I said, pretty well done. The entire wave is very well done. Now let's check out his accessories, starting off with the boring stuff. Here's his display stand. Typical McFarlane stand we've seen a million billion times before. It's a black perfect circle, very thin, very basic. Now for his collector's card. As you can see, it's an image of Chris O'Donnell as Robin. Robin from Batman and Robin. On the back, there is a description. If you want to read that, go ahead and pause now. Now let's look at Mr. Freeze's arms. We have 2 arms. We have his sort of silver metallic armor. Although, paint job could be quite a bit better on these things. Looks a little bland. Still, Mr. Freeze looks pretty damn good when you put them together. And if you buy the entire wave of 4 figures, you get to collect and build the Arnold Schwarzenegger Mr. Freeze from Batman and Robin. Like I said before, paint job's a little bit bland. Could be a sort of metallic silver, would look a lot better, but they offset that with a damn near perfect head and face sculpt. Looks spot on like Arnold Schwarzenegger from Batman and Robin. Very good job, McFarlane. And then we have these ice effects. These are cast in a semi-transparent blue plastic. We have one here that goes on top of his arm, and another one here that'll go on top of his face. Very cool accessory. Very cool to add to your Mr. Freeze or Batman and Robin display. Here's Robin with those 2 ice effects attached. One on his face and one on his arm. And if you're curious if you can use these ice effects with some of the other heroes in this line, you sure can. Here's Batman with the ice effects on his face and hand. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and its accessories, now for his height. From bottom to the top of his head, staying about 7.1 inches tall, which can translate to 18 centimeters. And now for his articulation. Starting with his head, of course, it can rotate from side to side. You can look up and down about that much. Can tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders, a ball joint, goes out a little bit more than 90 degrees, up, down, around, all that good stuff. He's got a butterfly joint between his shoulder and chest, increasing the range of motion and covering the large gap that would be there. Bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows. His wrists can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. His torso, he's got a ball joint, rotate around, forward and back. Another one is waist, rotate around, forward and back. Between the two, very good range of motion in his torso area. I'd say you get a little more of the torso than the waist on this guy. Legs, completely does splits. McFarlane style hip joints. Rotation is non-existent. You go forward, about that far. Back, not much. Double jointed knees. And then his ankle, forward and back. Rotate, tilt, rock, and of course, toe articulation. Here's Batman in the Batcave. He just heard about Mr. Freeze. He's about to take the Batmobile out and stop him. Alfred in the background saying, "Do try to bring this one back in one piece, sir." And then Robin comes up. Robin says, "I want a car. Chicks dig the car." And then Batman, shaking his head, says, "This is why Superman works alone." And then Robin's Redbird cycle comes up out of the Batcave. This is going to be his vehicle. Here's a look at the McFarlane Chris O'Donnell Robin on top of the old Kenner Batman and Robin Redbird motorcycle. It's a little too small, but fudgeable. Here's a look at Batman, Robin, and Batgirl attacking Mr. Freeze in his ice lair. Mr. Freeze is going to defend his wife no matter what the cost. He freezes our heroes. And here's Batman and Robin attacking Poison Ivy in her plant lair. And here's Poison Ivy about to kiss Robin. She's going to use her poison lips to mind control him. At this point, Poison Ivy's in control of Batman and Robin. They're guarding and protecting her. Eventually, Batgirl comes to take out Poison Ivy. She ends up breaking the spell. And then here are our three heroes getting ready to take down Poison Ivy. Now let's check them out. Next is some other action figures. Starting off with some other Batman and Robin figures. Here's the entire Batman and Robin movie wave. We have Batman, Robin, Batgirl, and Poison Ivy. If you buy all four of these figures, you get to collect to build the Arnold Schwarzenegger Mr. Freeze, covering the main characters from the film. The biggest omission is going to be Bane. I really hope they give us a Bane in one way, shape, or form in the future. Now, there are a ton of other figures I could make from this movie, mainly Batman, Robin, and Batgirl in their ice suits from the end of the film. And then Poison Ivy Mr. Freeze also had numerous looks in the film. They could make variants of them if they wanted to. But please give us a Bane. And honestly, Batman's end ice suit is pretty much the same sonar suit from Batman Forever. They could literally use that exact same suit, repaint it a little bit, and then alter his chin to George Clooney's. Robin's ice suit is literally exactly the same, except the red is painted silver. And then Batgirl, I think she had the same suit at the end, just had a full sort of motorcycle helmet cowl. Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy's different looks would require brand new figures. Hopefully they'll give us more, but at least give us that Bane. The only other Batman and Robin figure McFarlane has made is the George Clooney Batman with the cloth cape from the Ultimate Batman movie 6-pack. And the only other 6 and 7 inch scale Batman and Robin figure that I have is going to be the Michael Gough Alfred. This one could be from any of the different 4 Tim Burton and Joel Schumacher films. Now let's check them out. Next to some other Dick Grayson figures. Here are all 3 of the McFarlane DC Multiverse Dick Grayson Robins they've made, and they're all very different. We have the Native American looking Robin from Fighting the Frozen, then the adult Robin from Batman and Robin, and then a child Robin from the old school comics. And here he is, next to all the different McFarlane DC Multiverse Dick Grayson Nightwing figures. As you can see, the Batman and Robin suit is heavily inspired by Nightwing's suit. These two have a similar suit design, all black, with the red Nightwing logo across the chest. Here are all the different McFarlane DC Multiverse Dick Grayson figures. Robin, Nightwing, and there are plenty more looks they could make. We do have a Nightfall Nightwing coming in the near future. Here he is, next to all of my DC Direct Dick Grayson Robin figures. These are all from Batman the Animated Series. Then, with all of my Mattel Dick Grayson Robin figures, here he is, with a bunch of 1966 Burt Ward Dick Grayson Robin figures by both Mattel and McFarlane. And now, with an older Toy Biz Dick Grayson Robin, here he is, with all of my DC Direct Dick Grayson as Nightwing figures. Then, with all of my Mattel Dick Grayson Nightwing figures. Now McFarlane did make a couple of smaller Dick Grayson Nightwing figures in both their Superpowers and their Page Puncher 3-inch lines. Next, we have him with a Dick Grayson as Batman figure. He's filled in as Batman a couple times over the years. And now, next to a DC Direct, Dick Grayson Red Robin. Typically Red Robin is Tim Drake, but this is the original version from Kingdom Come, which was Dick Grayson. And finally, here he is next to a Dick Grayson in civilian attire custom I made a while ago. Now let's check him out, next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here's the entire Batman and Robin movie wave. I hope they give us more figures, especially a Bane. And I hope they do a Batman Forever wave, Batman Returns wave, 89 wave, and then more stuff for the Dark Knight trilogy, Batman vs. Superman, The Batman, hell, jump into animated stuff, give us more 66 stuff in 7-inch scale. I'd even take the 43 and 49 serial versions of Batman and Robin. Here he is, next to the McFarlane Toy Store exclusive Deadly Duo Joker. And here he is, next to the Target exclusive Midnighter and Wave Rider. Then, with the Target exclusive Flashpoint Wave, Collective Build Cyborg. And now, next to the Amazon exclusive glow-in-the-dark variations of the Infected Batman, Titan Joker, Swamp Thing, and Jon Stewart Green Lantern. Here's this Robin, next to some recent Entertainment Earth exclusive gold label figures. We have the Blacklight figures on the left, and the line art sketch figures on the right. And here he is, next to the McFarlane Collector's Edition Wave 2, both the regular and the Platinum Chase variants of Firestorm, Hawkman, and Sinestro. Then, next to the Injustice 2, Superman and Brainiac. And now, with the Batman, Last Night on Earth, Batman vs. Omega 2-pack. And finally, next to the Dark Knights of Steel Batman, and both versions of the Jim Gordon Batman. Now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how he fits in, both scale and style-wise, in case you don't know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane toy, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work my way smaller. But first, let's check him out with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. And now, next to some Jack Specific and some DST or Diamond Select toys, here he is, next to a container of Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning. And here he is, next to some DC Direct and some NECA figures. Then, with both some Mattel and Jazzwares wrestling figures. And now, with some Mezco and Mattel DC figures. Then, with some Mafex and Hasbro Marvel Legends. And finally, with some SH Figure Arts and some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. Overall, it's a pretty cool Robin figure. Now, I'm not really a fan of the version of Robin from Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, but they definitely did the figure justice. I've always liked the Nightwing type suit he wore in Batman and Robin. I say the likeness is pretty good, although the uneven sort of hairline is really bothering me. Sculpt and paint job are excellent. The entire wave, the likeness is just spot on. They did a great job with these guys. His accessories, those ice effects are awesome, but I wish he had some gripping hands and some bad gadgets. His articulation is everything you'd expect from a modern McFarlane DC Multiverse figure. If I were to rate this guy, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. It's a really good figure, but there are some real standouts in this wave. I personally think he might be the weakest one of the entire wave, and it's a really solid figure. So if that tells you how good the wave is, I don't know what else will. I really like this Robin figure. I'm going to say Poison Ivy's a standout of the wave. Arnold's right behind her. Then probably Batgirl, and then Batman, and then Robin. But that does not mean I don't like this figure. I'm not dogging this figure. 7 out of 10, probably worth a 7.5. It's a very nice figure. I really hope they give a Batman Forever version eventually. And they could have done a Platinum Chase variant with the ice suit. All they'd have to do is paint the red to silver. I can see some really cool customs coming in the near future. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.